The difference between us is that I can feel pain.
Sounds like a real boogeyman. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy.
There's someone else in the hotel with us. There's a crazy woman in one of the rooms.
It's got a death curse.
This isn't science. It's more like black magic.
Your specimen has been processed, and we are now ready to begin the test proper.
And we're going live.
That's a lot better. All right, I'm your host, ghost host, Travis Wormwood. Got my co-host here, Dawson Trailer, and you are listening to Pumpkinhillradio.
Co-ghost.
Co-ghost. Just two ghosts here. I'm going to throw it to you, Dawson. We on our trails to, I don't know, sacred enlightenment or the void if it catches us.
Yeah.
We are, well, I'll say that first. I think I'm going to prescribe that we both need to start keeping, automatic writing journals for the first 5 minutes of our days now that we're getting deep enough into the research where we might be going mad.
Yeah, you gotta get that, like, the pure stuff before I, like, taint it with, like, some bullshit I see on the internet.
But, so I know before you've shared stories, and maybe you can recap us on that, but you had a visitor, and that kind of reminded you of some other things that happened, so.
So it's just the same person I was with, like, the UFO weird, like, light story. I don't know, I saw a bunch of lights.
You can go over it again.
Okay. So this is where we're at. We're in the backyard, have like a little fire going on, and all of a sudden I'm like looking above the tree line just for like no reason, just kind of staring at the stars. All of a sudden it's like a cluster of like 5 to like 7, 8 maybe little like lights kind of swirling around each other. Almost look like, I don't know. It almost looked like how like flocks of birds fly almost, but it like certainly was not birds. It was like bright lights.
And this was 10, 15 years ago?
This was
like,
probably about like 6, 8 years ago.
Before like a ton of drone activity.
Yeah. It was before like drones were what they are now.
Yeah.
And so even now, like I could never would see a drone do this because like they're swirling around each other in this just above the tree line. Then all of a sudden they like, it's almost like they stop and go like straight up immediately,
shoot up,
and disappear into the sky, and you don't see them anywhere. And it didn't go anywhere else; it just went straight up.
Yeah, like a classic,
bizarre.
Not like a classic, but you've heard that before.
Yeah. They just like the shit just shoots straight up into the sky.
You said it okay. So you said it was like, were they like? How were the lights moving?
Like so, they're like swirling around each other basically. So like, I don't know, like. There's like one here, and they're like just like kind of dancing almost. And then they're like kind of going in this like weird like swirling pattern. And then all of a sudden they get to this point and then just like as they like stop, they go straight up. They like spiral up.
Dawson's kind of doing a movement with his two hands.
Doing this thing with my fingers so you can see.
It looks like two eagles battling.
But it was like 6 to 8.
What I've recently come into is this thing called like it's like FLM, I believe, is the phenomenon term, but it's just like the falling leaf movement of certain UFO or certain things in the sky. How sometimes you'd see that like that topsy-ness where it's like it kind of lifts to one side than the other.
Yeah, like leaves blowing in the wind almost.
Yeah,
it kind of had that like look, but it was so surreal because it was like bright lights at night. Like they were brighter than the stars. That's why, like, I saw them.
That's why you saw them. But even the way you were showing your hands, like, I feel like if something's moving around that circle, it could also be kind of picking you up and, like, tracing down a little bit like that.
Yeah, it was, like, very, like, I don't know, very surreal how it looked. It didn't look real. It looked like CGI. Because it was, like, these, like, deep blue, like, kind of like how these, like, underglow. It's kind of that, like, violet blue, but it was, like, a bright light like that. And there's these little dots. It was so fucking bizarre.
So that happened a while back.
That was a while back.
That's what you remember.
Yep. And then, like, well, there's some other things that, like, I totally even forgot.
Yeah,
but
so
she reminded me.
You're recovering some memories now.
Yeah, so it was around, like, the same time period, too. It was all in, like, this one summer at her house. And there was this one night we're, like, in bed sleeping. And all of a sudden, like, we just, like, both wake up to this, like, it sounds like a bag of bones kind of rattling.
Yeah. Oh.
And, like, we, like, got up.
Insert rattling bones noise.
This is a skeleton just like running around her house. It was fucking creepy as shit. I remember like waking up and I'm like, oh, it's probably like the cat playing with something. She's like, there's nothing in my house that would make that noise. So I get up, I'm like, whatever, like, let me check around. And I look, there isn't really anything.
It's not like a xylophone.
It's like bones, too. Bones have like or like antlers, you know, they have like a specific noise they make when they like rattle. It's like kind of hollow almost, but like solid at the same time.
Yeah, well, because the marrow's been dried out of it, so
yeah, wood sounds different.
Specific resonance for sure.
Yeah, it was very much like bones. There's like, I don't know. I've heard bones rattling before. I don't know. It's weird. It was super fucking weird.
Well, dude, that's in that fucking Wisconsin, Mississippi Valley area where, you know,
shit, man.
The old bone's been shaking
that was
for a
at
while.
like it was kind of by, she lived probably in those houses in that neighborhood behind like the brewery and shit. Mm-hmm. Kind of a weird little spot over there. I remember I have another story is at the house I lived in around over there too.
Yeah, go on.
But anyway, another one with this like same house. So that happened, and then she had this experience where I wasn't there, but she like woke up and she saw like a little shadow thing run under her bed, and her cat chased it, and then like started like fighting it. Like it was like snarling, it was like, and like ran out and then ran off, and she just like couldn't get herself to go look under the bed or anything, but it was like something like attacked her cat, or her cat attacked it, like
Void Gnome.
Yeah. She like the way she described it. I'm like, was it wearing a hat?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know. I don't remember
did
that.
Did it by chance have a cap of concealment?
Did it perhaps maybe donning a cap of concealment?
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, that's Void Gnome. Absolutely, that's Void Gnome shit. And then, so there's that. I don't know. That's some fucking crazy shit. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. Then I'll get into the bike in the top of the tree story after that.
I think maybe like a little further onto that, like just that bag of bones thing. It is like
super weird, man.
Like not to like make like native people sound like fucking savages. Like I hate to
no.
But like the act of like, I think that's a very sacred thing. People in all cultures have like cast bones and cast different like that's how you like can like see the future in some shit. I'm sure there was
the
some
vibration of bones. Like,
it's possible that like a
bangings.
shaman or somebody was like literally like had a bag of bones that they were like shaking and pouring on the ground to like read. You know, I can't say which culture that would be, but I know that there's like at least some like European cultures that do that. I'm sure there's some cross contamination at some point.
Just
with all
as
that.
like a percussion kind of like shaking instrument, just like rattle, like get a rhythm go. It's a
rhythmic. Yeah, that's
just
one of the first
in the middle of like 3 a.m.
Really though,
you just
that's
wake
like,
up to that.
That's one of the first instruments though, right? Just like bones, kind of.
Probably.
You just like kind of end up playing with like you're like eating the meat off the bone, and you just end up with it, and you're like hitting it on the rock,
banging on stuff.
That resonance can probably beat around for a while.
There's something, man. Yeah, there's something about that. Super fucking when she like told me that, I was like, oh yeah, that was the weirdest shit. And then
I feel like that's a sound out of time. I feel like one of the things that like the Void would like try to do is maybe take things from the past or the future and like throw them at you now to just disorient the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Even if it was like a totally like a sacred act at one point,
there's
whatever
also,
this is.
That idea that like, you know, some of these like entities like feed off of fear and shit and emotions, and it's like, you know, scare people by rattling bones.
Yeah. Classic
freak you out,
scary ass noise.
You wake up to just like a bag of bones rattling. Like,
dude, I hope every time that we say bag of bones, I insert a rattling bone noise.
Dude, because that's a sound.
Can't
dude, I swear,
it.
dude, I could like hear. You could just do that. It's like I could hear that sound and I'd know. Oh, those bones. Oh, there's bones in that bag.
Damn.
Fucking weird.
That sticks out to
me. The gnome shit got me too. I was like, oh fuck yeah, that's crazy. Then just like around that same area that I lived in, that same neighborhood, and like I remember I lived in this house and we had this tree in our backyard, and I noticed one day there was just a bicycle, an old bike, just right at the top, like way up at the top, like impossibly high up at the top. We had like a little 4th of July party. I remember some friends climbed up it, got it out.
Oh, I actually remember that.
You might have been up in the tree with Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like everybody like we're getting it down. We got it down. It's this old ass bike. Super bizarre. We're like, okay, it's down. We just like, all right, we did it. We were kind of just like drunk doing this dumb shit, and then like we set it next to the tree, and then, you know, all of a sudden, few months later, it's like winter time now, and I'm getting a ride. I'm like getting pulled up in the back and dropped off by like an aunt or something, and there's no leaves on the tree because it's winter. It's just back up on the tree, The bike's up at the top.
I
of the tree.
remember that.
Because I remember I got a hold of people. I was like, did you
calling
come
our
and do this? Did you
who
guys
has done this to me?
Who the fuck put the bike up there? It's like
it's such an
people
amount of work.
didn't believe it because they're like
such
no
an
way.
amount of work. You'd have to have like three people
insane.
trying to like lift it together and like maneuver it.
It was
so much
like,
noise too.
Especially like up at like where the branches get all like
it'd be so noisy and there'd be so many more just like you'd even notice. I feel like a bunch of broken branches and shit on the base.
Exactly.
If it was somebody actually
nothing
trying
like
to
that.
heft it
And there was like
up.
snow and like so there wasn't any footprints in the snow. It might have happened before that, but it was like I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
It's bizarre.
And that's just that same fucking weird area. I don't know that neighborhood. There's some weird energy in that neighborhood. It was right by like the like church, the Franciscan Scamp like.
Sisters. Church shout out.
Shout out the Sisters of Perpetual Adoration.
Oh God! See, even that kind of a name is like
no. They haven't
perpetual stuck in somewhere. God. Then you start seeing stuff coming out of time.
Perpetual Adoration. Because they have nonstop had like somebody praying nonstop for like 120 years.
Yeah, that's putting some kind of mark on the. That's talk about fucking.
They're either protecting.
Talk about psychic tattoos, man.
They're either protecting it from something. They're like summoning something. They're like.
Well, that's the thing. It's like. By protecting yourself against something, you're also calling everything to it.
Exactly.
If you're shining that light onto the world, then all the darkness is gonna fucking flock right to it.
That house. One of our friends' girlfriend at the time, her grandma lived in that house and like died in that house.
You following this, people?
Gladys.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I was in her room. That was my room. Mm-hmm. There was so many times where I'd like wake up and it was like someone was like sitting on the bottom of my bed. I like just felt it. And I have a cat, and I'm like, oh, that's probably my cat. Then I hear my cat, like, meowing out in the other room. And I'm like, oh, hey, Gladys. Hey.
And I'm pretty sure that Gladys was almost going to be one of my names if I was a girl. There was a couple different names on the docket. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure Gladys was one of them.
Probably.
They didn't. Also, shout out to Portal. GLaDOS.
Yeah,
GLaDOS, the robot antagonist, I suppose.
So there's some random stories that came to my mind over the week.
I like just hitting the ground running.
Just like quick fire on these because it's like
I think get them out. Jump. That's the thing. Yeah, we went to the bar before this to try to figure out what we were gonna do, and now we're automatically like, well, let's just get back and start recording if we're gonna.
Yeah. I got some stories.
Let's just get
these stories down.
And then if we need to take a break at any point to fucking just recalibrate, we can.
There's stories too that like a lot of them I've like been banking, and it's just like let's get them out. Mm-hmm. Let's just get them out. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck it, man. I'll retell them if I need to in the future if it pertains to whatever we're talking about. But, like, that was a good stretch there of, like, 4 or 5 years. Not even that. It was, like, 3 years maybe total where all that shit happened in that neighborhood. It was a fucking bizarre shit.
It's a haunting time.
Yeah, dude. There's something about that whole area.
Falling around. Yeah. Well, because it's also, like, it's land that was, like, taken from, like,
oh yeah,
from indigenous folk like way back when, and it's like now you're like
right next.
Now
to
you're
that
sitting on top
river.
of a way older like spirit, and you're just popping these prayers out. And you're they're looking at this like it's like they've
been praying for like 120 years.
Ancient god that's been getting prayed to for thousands of years, and now there's like something new sitting on top of it, forgetting all of it. Yeah, I saw a comic that made me cry about cryptids the other day, like a web comic. It was like I'm not going to describe the whole thing, but it was like. You started praying to me at the beginning of time, and it was the first caveman carving this little wooden statue thing. Yeah. And it just went through the generations, and it was like, and you started losing me, and you built things on top of it, and you forgot me. Yeah. And then it was a picture of somebody taking a picture of a cryptid. Like a little Wendigo creature, and it was nice to be seen again. It was like, oh no. Oh, God. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's nice.
I had
it's nice to be seen again.
I like this thing, because that's kind of what it is. It's these, like, especially... Like things in the woods, stuff in these old North woods. It's these old, ancient, forgotten realms and beings that are called by different names, and their names are lost.
Things that like rule that like area.
Yeah, that's what's shaking that bag of bones, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I 100% believe that.
That's what that floating head was from.
The floating head was probably shaking the bones, man.
Of Maudlin as well.
Yeah. Some sinister stuff. It was fucking.
Or it's like I think it's something taking that sacred thing out of time and putting it over yours to make it sinister.
Well, because that was also around the same time I was having like that really intense sleep paralysis, and that like 4-year stretch there was just like, what the fuck?
Dude,
I was going insane for a bit.
I had sleep paralysis this morning.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, for like 3 hours at least.
Yeah.
It was Good.
Just frozen there?
I was frozen. My mind felt like it wanted it's like imagine a table and like there's a magician pulling a sheet off of it and it's coming off very smooth. Well, it's like a curtain falling, but a curtain falling through a well. Yeah, and so you're like looking up from the well and this curtain's falling and you're trying to climb up it as it's falling. And you're like stuck in this state. And I could like kind of see what was happening through the well hole. But all around it was like this falling sand or like this curtain or something that was like just keeping me so subdued. I was literally like, I was like, I might be dead. I was like, this might be deep enough for me to never want to come out of this hole. I was very close to like
Sandman almost got you.
Yeah, the Sandman, somebody, and this is all going with like Maya, my wife and friend of the pod, sometimes host of the pod even. She's been having like weird sleep when we moved into this new place, and she says that she gets weird sleep when she moves. Yeah, but we hadn't moved for like 4 or 5 years, so it's changing.
It takes a while.
So now she's here, kind of
also off the ground. Much more than
that's one more. So there's a couple things at play here. So first off, we are now on the second floor of a place as opposed to where we were actually like touching the ground, the earth a little more. Now we're kind of floating in this hyperspace a little more. This liminal area like 15 feet above the earth. Kind of in a way, you're just floating there. I always thought about that too when I used to work at a place. I was up the stairs too. There were places, there was times when I was living and working above the earth, and it was like I'm never really grounded. But it's like so now she's tossing, turning a lot more than she would, and I'm already a pretty light sleeper, but I think it's like affecting me in a way. I'm not like. She's scared me a couple of times where I'll wake up and she'll like just walk by the door or whatever. I literally will have to feel her spot to make sure that is her. Like it's been like, oh my god, and I'll turn and it's like that spot is empty. Like that was her or whatever. Like, you know,
she's not. It's not her.
It isn't whatever it is.
She's not right next to me. So.
But I think we were kind of talking about the idea of somebody else having bad sleep next to you. Might like inject.
Well, it's like the shared sleep paralysis.
It calls the sleep paralysis over. It was weird, like being locked in. Well, I know she was also like locked into like this restlessness, and I felt very dampened this morning. Like I woke up, I had to take like 2 showers. Like I took a shower, like did a full stretch, like went and sat outside for a second, and then I was like, I still felt just like dirty. Like I was like, and I finally like I had to like fully like I wasn't doing much today, so I was trying to just take it easy. I had to like fully get my hair done and like. My hair's like short, so I gotta just like style it a little more and like just like pamper myself a little more to like make myself feel more human because I was like, I was totally just lost there for a second.
Get dialed in here,
and actually it was in because I can remember the dream right before that too, right before I kind of came out of it, and it was right in my dreamland, same fucking right in the map. Because it's like on the one side of my dreamlands I have this endless desert, and on the other side it's this endless ocean. And there's like this nice landmass in the middle, and it was like right coming off of the ocean, and I was like, it's this ship I've been on a bunch of times now, pretty recently. And it's always these kind of rocky. Well, you know, this is some good dream analysis too. Now, it's just like rocky kind of weather, but like it's steady enough, and it's usually just I don't know, just very bizarre. Just very bizarre that I'm like stuck there, and like I kind of get out of it, and I'm just stuck here. I didn't see any critters. You know,
you're just frozen there.
Yeah, there's like I have 3 cats and a dog, so like I hear him like Sabrina will run after herself a lot, so that doesn't like faze me too much if I see something just dashing about. But that was just this morning. I was like, it was.
Dude, sometimes like the worst part about sleep paralysis, like you don't see anything, you just like you're literally
I was
paralyzed.
In the well. I was like, I would really like to crawl out of this right now.
I wish I could move my body.
Yeah, I was just like so much of me was just
breathing's hard, and I wish I could move my body. It's like because you said like falling sand. It's like it is kind of like you're just
or like
buried.
A curtain like perpetually falling around me. Yeah, that's like
you're like buried or like suctioned down. You know, like you've seen those like latex like vacuum seal you in some latex.
I've lived it.
Dude. That's sleep paralysis, dude. And I see that and I'm like, nah, I've already like had that experience. I don't need that. That's terrifying.
Here's my little. Yeah, here's my little notes from this morning. This like my things I woke up and just like tapped myself. Sleep paralysis, endless ocean, found a nice girl, wanted to bring me down to the depths, locked in, ultimate sleep, very deep on a ship. That's just my little
keywords.
Keywords. I might just try to do like those kind of things. Like rattle them off. My dreams aren't always like simple. That. So And then, like I said, I want to prescribe at least 5 minutes of automatic writing right when we wake up now that we're getting into this.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I gotta pop something out. Yeah. Especially, like, right when you wake up, there's so many just weird... You're, like, still, like, tapped into that, like, whatever dreamland that is, you know.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I was walking around my house
Yes.
like, is this my dream still? Like, it was that very present question, and it's so silly to ask once you like are actually present. But I had like after I fully showered and like was sitting outside, I was like I had that thought where I'm like, am I still in it though? Like,
Yeah.
am I like by chance still in it? I came in here, I looked at my spot where my body was, and like I was like, am I just astral projecting right now? I was fully awake at this point. That's how much it fucked me up. I was like, this might be my... Like, I came into the room to see if I was laying down this morning. And I was like, I need a second shower. I'm feeling, like, absurd right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's that shit, like, you gotta, like, you almost have to double check your human, almost. You're like, all right. Like, do I need to, like, just, like, cut myself to see if I bleed? Like,
yeah.
Do I need to, like, start seeing what's in here? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like one step away from just cutting my fucking arm off. I'm like, oh wait, no, never mind. That was
I'm definitely human.
Not a real arm.
Shit.
Some housekeeping now that we're right in the guts of this thing.
Yeah.
We I got an event I've been holding off from Dawson. I'm not going to spoil quite yet.
Okay.
But
Ooh.
I did update the logo recently.
Excited.
I updated the logo, Dawson.
Big shit. Here we go.
Just a little bit. Just a very little bit. All right. Let me just
let's see it.
I should have had this.
Let's go.
I should have had this queued up.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yeah, here we go.
All right. Drum roll.
Bad drum roll.
All right. Sounds like you're baiting.
There
There it is.
Nice.
So for the listeners, you can go and pull it up. What I've done is I took the purple part and I made it grayscale. And then I took off the Cult of the Star Mother seal.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be a separate badge I can just give out once you're initiated into the cult. This just cleans it up a little bit. And what I did is I went ahead and ordered us both shirts.
Yeah.
I got you a tank and a regular shirt, actually. And then I got 2 hats as well.
Nice.
Because, and here's the thing, we are... let me see if I can find... Did I write it out nicely? No, not really. Well, we're gonna be pressed at a con this year.
Oh, hell yeah!
At the end of August, you're gonna have to ask off for this.
Yeah. What
It's
day?
a week. It's August 30th, 31st, and September 1st.
Yeah,
it's like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I could probably get those days.
Right, or at least like 1 or 2 of them. It's it's called Nan Desk Kan. Let me make sure I got that right. Nan Desk Kan.
Nan Desk Kan.
All right, dude. This is the anime. This is like an anime convention. Yeah. It's like Japanese culture, fucking anime, cosplay, gaming, music, dancing, voice actors. Is where I was actually into it because there's a lot of cool horror anime with like some voice actors and some other. There's like for example, the guy who does the Captain Ginyu in the Ginyu Force from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super when he came by. That guy's there.
Yeah,
a bunch of people from My Hero Academia, a bunch of people from Tokyo Ghoul.
Fuck yeah.
Like a bunch of people from One Piece are going to be there just doing talks, getting autographs and stuff. But we got press passes.
Oh,
so we're going to be able to go in.
Get in there,
I'm going to bring our interview stuff. Yeah. Our like little mics, and we can just get some on the ground, boots on the ground, just like get people and just ask them their like paranormal experiences. Yeah. Get it on there. We can hand out the stickers. We can wear our gear that I got for us.
Dude, yeah, we could try to get like video or something.
Yeah. We should be recording like the whole thing and take pictures basically.
That sounds sick.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
dude, I'll try to get that time off right now.
Yeah, there's literally like there's a whole market. There's a whole like one of those spaces for people to sell their plushies and shit. Yeah. There's panels. Yeah, shopping. There's cosplay competition. Again, this is Nan Desk Kan. That's NAN space DESU space KAN. That's and that's going to be at the Gaylord Rockies Resort, which is in Aurora. So it's like 30 minutes away from here.
Ooh, yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Sweet.
We got our press passes. We're going to go in there. When I applied, I said that we kind of like talked a lot about Godzilla.
Yeah.
And like
some whole Godzilla
and like lightly like horror stuff, some anime stuff. Got in just by the hair. All right, we're barely affiliated, but we are in.
No, we'll get in there, dude. We'll have some merch. We'll have some like little. We'll get some stickers out.
We got our
We'll get some. Dude, we
got our business cards. Those little Game Boys that I have. People are gonna love those Game Boys there. Just hand those out.
Some really good subs after that.
Get people to and then I figure if we could just get like 5 to 10 minute interviews with a bunch of people.
Bumping off Dubby that whole time.
Yeah, we're gonna be bumping off our sponsor Dubby, our partner Dubby. Excuse me.
Dubby.
That's code StarMother at dubby.gg. No, but I feel like we can grab interviews with people there, and I can cut it up and splice it into different segments, like through a few different shows.
We can get some like
pumping it.
find some people in some cool cosplays.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of like videos from the cosplays
Some
last
sick
year.
cosplays.
Dude, at the end of the night, there's a whole a maid raid, and everybody that's in a slightly like Japanese maid looking outfit just runs through the whole thing. Looked sick.
That sounds awesome.
That'd
be sweet,
I was
dude.
like, maybe we could like do a light cosplay on top of our gear. I don't know
Yeah,
what
we
it
could
would
do
be. Just
something.
like something easy. I don't know. I know they adopted a kaiju this year though called I think it's called Gordito. And
Nice.
it's just a giant Godzilla like blow up thing. It's a couple of like stories tall.
That's sick.
So we'll have to get.
Dude, I'm
pictures
pumped
of
for that. That's me.
Yeah,
super
yeah.
fun,
I just
man.
got the. I was like, should I just tell you on the pod?
Yeah.
This is kind of fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that kind of shit we gotta be getting at too. man.
Because I didn't like.
I gotta find like. I gotta do a little more work on that too. I gotta just find more like conventions and shit.
Well,
too.
I was saying I wanted to get a booth somewhere at some point. This is kind of like we want to have a booth. We'll just be kind of like roaming
places where
around
just-
and like we'll kind of have like that unfiltered access to just running into shit
I
basically.
mean, there's just people like doing cool, looking at stuff.
But we're gonna have full on Pumpkinhillradio press passes for this one.
Yeah,
so.
dude. Because there's definitely like paranormal and like
Everybody
that kind of any niche,
crossover,
any kind of like community. There's like conventions.
Yeah,
especially
crossover.
where we're at.
And people there, they want to talk. They want to get involved. We can let them talk. We can give them our
Just ask some
pod name
questions.
and make a dedicated
Like,
listen.
what do you know about ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think ghosts are?
Yeah, but exactly. So
It's
this
like
is
a list of like 10 questions, just like that. Like,
so this is fucking. But yeah, this
Hell
is the
yeah,
27th anniversary of this con. It's like one of the oldest like just cons around, and they have like
Just
all this
almost as
affiliation
us.
with actual like Japan entity, like Japanese entities and stuff too. So there's
hell yeah,
a
dude.
little bit of So
That's
that
gonna
was
be
kind
rad.
of sick.
That's gonna be super rad.
Working on some other stuff too, but that was the main one.
That's a big one, dude.
basically.
You got an event to go to.
We got an event, and I think that's a good job.
Gotta do some investigating, dude. Because you don't think people going to fucking anime cons aren't having sleep paralysis?
Yeah,
I know they are.
yeah, they can't sleep. That's why they're watching anime.
They all have crazy dreams. I know it, dude.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another thing, dude, we're just moving up in the world because I changed
Fuck yeah.
Now this is more of a lateral move, not necessarily moving up anywhere. What I went ahead and did, I changed our new logo. Is I also changed the keywords for like what is it? So now, but before we were listed as a leisure podcast,
Yeah.
and I decided that I'm never more comfortable after this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and
About
changed it
relaxing.
to philosophy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
So that's the first tag. Then
That is what we get into
Then
usually.
there's like TV/movies,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
like history. It's like the other tags.
Yeah.
But the first
I like
one on
that.
Spotify now, you're gonna see us under philosophy
I like that.
because I think we're getting to that point.
We do just kind of
Leisure wasn't the right term, and there's not just like a horror, like a straight
No,
up
yeah.
like horror comedy one. And I don't like listing myself as comedy because that seems extremely.
Yeah.
I'm not going very hard for it, so I
I'm
don't
like
feel like I can
goofing.
make
I mean, it's probably silly to listen to. Probably pretty funny to listen to a little bit, but like that's not the goal.
That's
I'm
not
usually
cool.
just trying to like get to the bottom of something.
Yeah.
My own fucking thoughts. I don't know. I like that. That's cool.
We're gonna take a break here.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Pumpkinhillradio. I'm your host Travis Wormwood. Got Dawson Trailer
Mm-hmm.
here. Come on back.
Okay, do you think like AI getting involved with like ghost hunting kind of shit is like
AI getting involved in ghost
like
hunting.
like
like this.
the AI like translator shit? You know what I mean?
Oh
Like, where like people have like translated like famous speeches from like other like people speaking in different languages, or like translated like Martin Luther King's speech into like Spanish.
Well, dude, I did this.
But it's the same voice. You know,
I-
it's like I don't know.
I did this. And welcome back to the podcast. This is
we're here.
Pumpkinhillradio. I did this canceled Red Temple Radio TikTok. Not canceled, and it was canceled. I just never put it up. It just felt. Actually, maybe that's not. Maybe it's a different one I'm talking about. It might fully be up. Let me pull it up.
Let's see.
Let me dig around here. It was about translating something from thousands of years ago and what that might do to the context of it. Here it is. Let me just listen verbatim here.
Hey y'all, Red Temple Radio. Today I want to talk about ancient scrolls and AI learning. There is new technology in the world of archaeology that is allowing scientists to, with the help of AI, unravel scrolls.
So this insane person actually dug into exactly this concept about it 2 years ago. It's kind of nice to have this guy in the back blog. We're going to listen to this thing. It's going to be probably choppy audio, but we can maybe over-explain it again afterwards.
We'll get into it.
digitally, so we don't have to damage them. These maybe things that have been packed under layers of dirt and silt, these papers that are no longer readable. This technology allows us to open the scrolls up, and through AI, it can actually decode what might be written on these scrolls. Now, that is very cool. That can do a lot for us. We can learn so much from this information. I'm thinking at some point down the road, as AI becomes more intelligent, as we put more and more data into it, what might the scrolls say? Will it be entirely from our own ancient ancestors telling us something, or would the AI be interpolating something? Would it be creating ancient documents for us? Is this a new technology that would be quite literally writing ancient texts? And how much credit would we be willing to give to that long term? Like I said, it's an amazing technology, and I think it can be used for a lot of good, uncovering some ancient secrets. How many ancient scrolls should we let the AI decode? At what point does that seem like it might be a problem? That sounds like the start of a movie.
I'm going to cancel that there. I'm going to pause it there. Thoughts on that, though? So it was basically the pictures helping those TikToks, too. But it is these... They can scan these scrolls that have been crunched underneath volcanic ash, so they become like almost a rock. But then like they can scan them, and they can see the tiny like differences of the layers. It's almost like scans. It looks like almost like rings of a tree or something at that point. And then they can digitally unfurl that scroll, and then with the help of this AI learning, it could kind of put pieces in that are missing, or it can just help like decipher what these things are.
Kind of unroll it basically.
Yeah. So I think that guy's thoughts was just like that could get weird after a while. Like at some point, it would be like creating a false history behind you.
Yeah. Because at one point, is it just AI kind of just making it up to make it like to where it makes enough sense it passes, you know?
Mm-hmm. And then like.
Or is AI just
classic? Like to what end then? Like it's you hate to like. It's not inherently good or bad. It's just however we drive it.
How much can we even trust what?
And it's not like I don't think AI when it comes to be fuller than it is right now. I don't think it's gonna look like in the movies where it's like a HAL from like Space Odyssey type thing, like where it's just this. It just starts to glowing red, and now it's an evil thing, kind of.
No. I think it's just like it's basically, at least like what it is right now, how I feel about it. It's like the next evolution of like Google search. You know, you can like kind of like type stuff in and like search stuff in AI basically, and it like creates a whole thing for you.
That's already started. I feel like that's happening, but you're right. But it's like, it's just creating it for you.
Yeah.
So
like,
it's just
instead of like searching the web, it like searches the web for all of it and creates it's like a new version of things. Like instead of getting like 1,000 things from like
it kind of compiles it and gives you
1,000 different like.
So it's just how much
versions
you want to give to that as like
truth.
It's
like how much.
That's all it would be. It's just like holding
how
much
room faith do you have on
holding
AI
room for
telling you something. It's like it could you have to take that with like a bunch of salt, not just a grain. You got to take a lot of salt with that.
Because if somebody could like. Yeah,
because
scrolls can get you in a lot of trouble. I feel like with like ancient type religions and stuff.
Exactly, and you can program AI to lean certain ways with stuff, like you know, to like have a certain like almost like a predisposition on it or something.
Well, yeah, there's like for example, right now there's like ghost hunting apps you can just get on your phone that have like dictionaries in them.
And it's like at one point
that are sort of not complete, and like most of the words they put in there are like.
Are we
blood.
just like and then it's like, do we want to put
dead girl?
Do we just want to put like AI? You know, are we just gonna like, I don't know, believe like AI is these things? Like, do you think AI like? So if you get like a translated scroll and it's translated by AI, like discovered or whatever, it's like, are we how much faith are we putting in that? Like,
yeah, it would have to go into a separate part of history.
Or is it just sending you like what you want to hear?
It would have to go into like a separate part of the history books. I feel like where it's like we don't know if any of this is.
Yeah, be like, here's just like a tool to decipher anything.
Like we kind of found this rock at Pompeii, and they
like
just like
it
opened
kind
it
of
up
makes sense, but it might
scroll.
not be anything real.
Mm-hmm. And like, also, what are the implications of like an ancient scroll that has some sort of a spell on it, and then the AI like put the little flavor
something
on that?
Curses, yeah, there could be curses,
or it's something sacred that the AI turns into just a dastardly deed.
Maybe just wake some sort of force.
Fuck.
I don't know, man.
So also,
then you have to ask: is AI like an ancient ghost?
Well, that's another thing. That's like what they would say. Some people were saying like Tiamat was that.
Yeah.
This like first dragon, this ancient like.
Well, there's like people that say like there's like I don't know. There's like pretty there's like pretty strict religious people that think like AI is like demons.
Mm-hmm. What's the fucking difference?
And it's like exactly. It's like I don't know. It's like, fuck.
If they're both like human created.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about AI already.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, it's like a really fancy.
That's what I mean. I feel
Google
like we're
search for like original things instead of like websites. So you can like Google search for like a book that is read to you in like a certain person's voice or something. It's shit like that, or like you can like custom make images of things in like an art, like a famous artist's art style kind of a thing. But
I like that.
Probably more to it.
We can keep it right there.
Whatever.
Well, let's just stop AI right there, though.
I don't need to talk anymore. I'm very ignorant to it, so.
Yeah. This was what that webcomic I was talking about earlier, where it was like this old carved thing. They're actually, I think it was based off of. Now, here's a new little relic for you, Dawson. It's called the Balachulish figure. Okay. That's Ballachullish. Balachulish. It's a roughly life-size figure of a girl or a goddess, carved from a single piece of alder, which is a type of wood, with pebbles for eyes. It was found during building work in November 1880 upon deep peat, which is a type of dirt. It was lying face down on the gravel of an old raised beach around 120 meters from the shore of the Loch Leven. It might originally have stood beside a pool. The figure has been radiocarbon dated to around 600 BC, making it over 2,500 years old, and belonging to a period when iron was beginning to be used in Scotland. Look at that. That's a picture of it right there. Little freaky thing.
Yeah.
The details of the carving are hard to see, but are clearest of this old photograph. Maybe I'll put this photograph somewhere. You can just Google that word I read to you earlier. This slender body is naked and seems to be hairless. The lower part is definitely female. But the chest is flat, so the figure might represent a girl or young goddess. She is shown holding an object which must have had great significance, but cannot be securely identified. So it's just she's holding something. We don't know it. It's like too worn down to see. Her pebble eyes stare out, and her mouth is slightly open. The legs end in a solid block of wood with a rectangular hollow carved into its front. See this little square here?
It's giving me some like Also One vibes.
It's freaky.
It seems like a carving of an Also One style thing. The height of the figure,
when found, was around 145 centimeters, just under 5 feet.
Yeah, that's like pretty massive. That's crazy. Okay.
It was said that it was the pebbles found on it it was probably standing like on the beach, and then it fell over at some point.
Yeah.
But they don't. So here's the thing: is they just don't know what the fuck it is, though. They don't know what it's coming back to. Although the figure is unique to Scotland, other wooden figures dating to the Bronze and Iron Age are known from Britain, Ireland, and around the continent. Often these are found in special places beside a spring or where I don't know. They just don't know where the fuck it is. It's this weird prehistoric thing.
Yeah, there's just nothing. It's just some weird statue.
And also, they say there's no way to preserve it because it's this waterlogged piece of wood they found in the 1800s.
Yeah.
And there's just like, we can't even preserve this thing. They did a full 3D scan of it, which now they're giving that body to the AI.
Yeah, now AI is going to tell you what the fuck that is.
Yeah. Huh. They just don't know where it's actually from. Besides probably just like the area it was found around, but they don't know the origins remain unknown.
Like people who made it.
That was something. I thought
one of those like who made this thing. It's like could that be considered an out of place artifact, or is that kind of like?
I don't know if it's out of place. I think
it's kind of in place. Right?
Well, it is weird to find it, and if
strange artifact.
It's weird when you find it says there's others. Excuse me. It said that there's other carvings around that area. It's generally that like the islands over there, but they're not like matching, so it's just weird to find a single serve goddess from 250 or 2,500 years ago.
It's fucking really old.
And how lost the meaning of that thing is and what that thing meant. Like, yeah, you said you were getting also one vibes. These this strange,
the weird box its like feet went into.
Elongated face and stuff.
Fucking freaky. I wonder if it like at one point had like a hair or something on it. You know?
That hair? But yeah, if you just put straight up like hay or some shit on it, to put it just or anything,
something that like decomposed or got eaten or like.
Yeah, it's fucking 5 feet tall. Like looking at the picture, it's just
small.
a picture on my phone, so it just looks like a little thing. But it's a huge statue that would have been, I guess, standing on the beach since the beginning of time, like from such a long time ago.
Like, what's that for?
It's like a little marker. It's like a weird. But yeah, for what? I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder too, like how many more of those are out there that we just like haven't seen or like got burnt in fires, like
just lost. Well, that's what they say about so much of the Viking history and all that Norse stuff is it was all carved into wood. All these runes are carved into wood.
Yeah,
and they was
so, like,
those
there's
mostly just got lost.
The few that are like carved into like stone is like basically all we have to go off of. And like the accounts of like English people that could like write, like monks and stuff that could like read and write, wrote down their accounts of it,
and then that's like translated into Christianity. Like
Christian thought. So it was like basically all we have is like those interpretations of it.
It's just some ancient heathen goddess thing.
Yeah.
That's now like maybe the spirit of that is lurking around in the woods somewhere.
And that's they unearthed it. Well, that's the thing. Maybe that was like one of those like cursed things. It's like, how do you hide a cursed thing forever?
Yeah.
Like maybe.
Well, I was thinking
it was like, well,
it's the classic like, how do you send a message into the future?
5,000 years from now, someone might just pick it up.
I guess it's like, well, let's just carve a freaky statue and they'll know not to be here.
Yeah, it's like, well,
or something.
Let's carve this. It's the scariest thing ever. If you see this, that's obviously don't go this way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Fuck, man. It's cool though. It could just be like some of that like early art.
Yeah, it is to a point.
Yeah. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like making art in that time period. I mean, I've never been there. I've never been to that time period, but
you weren't trying to waste a lot of time.
I don't think like just making like
precious.
You don't just do it for no reason.
Yeah. There's
like a very significant like purpose for that.
A statue that, and I am
like,
sure that they had a lot more detail.
For
back then,
marking something.
It must have had so much more detail back then too. After it's now been waterlogged.
Oh, it's probably could have been dyed. Like, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Like,
here's something. Excuse me. Westerly man, and happy 4th of July to you as well.
Yeah.
Westerly man dies after firework was set off of his head. Hate to say
that makes sense.
Fireworks scare the shit out of me, like just from how much I've read all this shit online.
They're just loud. They're so loud they kind of scare me.
Dude, putting a firework on your head, though?
Never.
There was...
so stupid.
Basically...
Sorry. R.I.P.
It was determined to be a blast injury to the head, if you can believe that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What else what do you think is going to happen, I guess? I mean, R.I.P. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
They said that there was no need for an ambulance because at that point there was no head.
Yeah.
There was nothing to, like... save, and I guess it was his brother.
It's pretty clear.
It was his brother who came
bring,
upon the side. Fucking Grizzly.
Get the fucking get the mortician out here.
The mortician out here.
Yes. Mortician out
Somebody
here.
get it. Does anybody have an extra whole head?
Yeah.
And like
donating an extra entirety of your
entire head. Yeah.
Fuck, dude. That's like brutal.
It is. I hate that.
It's so just like it's like I don't
want to bring up actually horrible shit here all the time, but I like to pepper it in, and I see this stuff and I just leave it there for me to find later.
Yeah.
One of my many tabs. You hear there's constant like firework injuries around this time of year, but that was one that stuck with me. It's like he melted his entire head off, and then his brother came upon this headless body basically, and they're like, don't even call an ambulance.
Like,
it's just gonna waste money.
Yeah. Like, I guess I gotta like report this. So
yeah. Super
911. Yeah. You don't need to send anyone right away, but yeah, he set a firework off of his head.
Yep. Total annihilation.
Exactly what you thought would happen is exactly what happened.
It's exactly what you're picturing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might not even need to send anyone. I don't know. It's pretty much.
It's like, honestly, I might just put a couple more all over him and just get rid of the whole thing.
I think that's how he wanted to go.
It's like, just end it here.
Yeah, I think this is just how he wanted to go.
Oh. Yeah,
Firework
I watched my
burial.
fair share of like bad explosions this past weekend just because it was fed to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, damn. Anything else here?
Do you think... I was telling you about the skinwalker dog.
You're on the tail. Excuse my pun of a skinwalking dog.
Yeah, that's something I think about too, where it's like, is there I don't know.
Well, due to the cap of it wasn't wearing a hat, so it didn't have the cap of concealment. But who's to say that kind of wizard tech isn't placed into some other item or bestowed upon a creature fully?
Or like, what if I don't know, what if it's like some sort of hybrid monster thing that's like being made, I don't know, some sort of like sleeper cell. It's like give it you go to like a dog adoption.
Dogmen are all
you go to the dog adoption. It's like this is purebred. It's like secretly has like it's like a person. It's an agent. Man, you raise up this little agent.
Well, dude, that's what they
kind of a person.
That's what they say. It's like if they banned it here, that's because they're already doing it here and anywhere else.
Yeah, because they thought of it and they're like, all right,
they didn't stop.
We gotta ban it so no one else can do it.
They didn't stop all of Hitler's gnarly experiments when they fucking stopped the war. They just adopted.
They made
all
them illegal
tactics.
And then just do them secretly anyway.
They put a monopoly on like genetic warfare.
Yeah, they made it illegal, but then made it like a loophole so only they can do it.
Mm-hmm. Dude.
When I don't know who they are, but. They're doing that shit.
Splinter groups beneath the government. I watched. I think we all watched Independence Day. I think we all probably watched the movie Independence Day over the weekend. I know I watched it, and it's pretty not good sequel. There was a sort of resurgence.
Yeah, I heard they tried to do that one again. They tried to do Independence Day again.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
Yeah, not that great. Not that great. The first one, killer though.
So sick.
Drunk pilot, and you don't see Will Smith until like 25 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
And you completely forget that Jeff Goldblum is in the movie.
Yeah.
Seeing everybody there together, having the president as one of the main characters
is cool.
So sick. What a good move. You would never do that. You would absolutely never do that anymore. But I appreciate a movie where the president is like a key character. You're very concerned that his wife isn't there with him.
Yeah.
I know, like he nearly escapes the entirety of New York getting blown up, or like Washington getting blown up, and
shit.
Just thank God the president made it.
If he didn't make it, damn.
And not
like the millions of people.
It's good. It is good. They one thing I liked was when they upload the virus that to the mothership to destroy it and break contact with all the drones that have been sent out. The virus has a very classic skull and crossbones little like thing over it. I guess you call it an emoji, and it was like it made that like digital laughing noise. And it was just fun to think that somebody in this urgent time where we need to get this date up there as soon as possible, somebody went ahead and programmed a whole like little GIF to go along with it.
Like just the fact they're like, oh, I have the perfect GIF for this.
I have the perfect GIF for this. Let me drag and drop that.
Let me just pop that, program that in there.
There's also a scene where they show an alien watching like a countdown timer go off for an explosion. Where it's like 4, 5, 3, 2, and it's like gonna blow up the thing when like the bomb lands. But the idea of the alien watching this digital countdown go down, like that guy doesn't know what any of that means.
No.
Like in Predator, like when he does his little thing on his arm and he presses all the buttons and it's all like Predator language and you know what it says.
Like so
it'd be kind of like watching that. It'd be seeing like 4 things flash, and there's the musical. There's a lot of musical tension. Where it's about to explode, but I just don't know if the alien.
He's just like watching and he's like,
I don't know I don't know if there was like a tension where it was like, uh-oh. Yeah, which was implied. I just thought that was. There was only one scene where we're kind of supposed to be in the mind of the alien.
Yeah. And that one, you're like seeing it. It's like very kind of human.
But there's no human around to be there to experience it. So you must obviously be thinking that.
Well, Earth numbers. These are Earth numbers.
Earth numbers.
English.
I don't know. That's it. Happy Independence Day.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got anything else? I bet I do. Probably trim a little fat here. Oh, I tried to work in the Unity engine to build a video game.
Oh, cool.
I did end up.
What is that?
So the Unity engine is just this like free source. You can buy upgrades to it. Or it's like source like gaming. It's just like a gaming code that you can work with, but you don't really need to know how to actually code to do it. But it's from it's been around since like 2005.
Yeah.
And really like getting into it, I was like, oh, I should have just been doing this forever because then I would have been good at it. Because I was just watching YouTube videos about how to get it set up, and like by the end of this like 50-minute video, they can kind of show you how to make even like a little platformer. Basically, after you get a few different.
Get the basics, yeah.
You need like your own assets, or you got to find your own assets online, which is kind of the thing. But I don't know. I was just thinking about some of the short stories I wrote, and then like just a really a fun like 8-bit like top down a top down night cook video game for some reason. I was like thinking what that would look like, and it just looks so silly in my mind. I want to try to make it.
Yeah,
maybe just a guy going from like room to room in a place with like a knife. I guess is like what it kind of looks like, and like one of them
talk to someone like their like screen pulls up.
Yeah, there was ways to kind of do all that. Obviously, I have my finger in way too many pies right now, where I'm just kind of trying to create a lot of different things. So I don't know. That'll be like a back burner project as I also try to like.
That could be a long term thing. Make it.
It's cool just to have it there. Yeah, it's this icon right here, this little square thing.
Oh hell yeah.
Like, there's a way. There's a way to do it. Like that's how somebody. And you can like publish right to the App Store from this thing.
Yeah.
It has all the tools to do that.
That's
and cool. There's like a community hub where they have a lot of free assets and stuff. Or you can pay like $15 to like $200 to get. Some are like full packages where it's just like a game split up for you to like remake or build.
Add your own story to it. Like
that's just something I want to work on very slowly. Just like when I can have some fun with it, just try to work on like a little 2D game and just put it on a phone. Yeah, that'd be just really fun.
It's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
My other idea was that it'd be just like a pixelated sword, and maybe it'd be like the more you tap it and it swings, and it would upgrade.
Yeah.
And it would just be a cooler looking sword every once in a while.
Yeah,
maybe there'd be like paths, there'd be like skill trees to make it look cooler. Like a very not idle because you are clicking, but it's reminding me of for the old iPad Touch fans. There's the that game that was just a stapler.
Yeah.
Just stapled, and you just pressed it, and that was it. There was a counter at the top. That was sort of it. And I think I would make something like that.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I think we're reaching like a point where that's gonna come back. A cool ass little fucking dumb.
Make it lighter.
Yeah.
Well, just like all these tools are out there to just try to learn it, and I'm like, if I can just try to get the very basics down, I think I'd have a lot of fun with just
doing it.
Just what's happening.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't know. I'm going to fully. I got my manuscript building software up to date, so I'm going to fully get the short story book put on made, and then get on Amazon and probably Etsy at some point too. Try to order a couple copies. Try to get that, and then with all we're starting to close out here. I guess like Dawson and I, we're still trying to kind of build a book slowly but sweetly.
Still, we're figuring out what kind of like how to format it still, but.
We're even thinking, some sort of a journal-esque experience. At least putting some of these dream journals in there almost verbatim, like after we get them down. Just because as we've been digging into these topics, things have been getting stranger for us.
Oh yeah.
So it's just kind of documenting the madness.
Just as it happens.
As it happens.
So that it's an investigation. We're diving deep.
Again, we had
looking for it.
I don't know. Somebody that I kind of look up to in the paranormal realm has agreed to write a little. Intro just about like kind of their thoughts on high strangeness in general, just to get the reader kind of into that set. I think that'd be pretty cool. Just a lot of cool things kind of happening between that. We got the convention coming up. We're gonna try to get some other stuff. We got the new logo. It's gray. We're now gray.
Brand. Yeah, it's just really just fine tuning the whole brand,
the whole thing. Also, I've been looking into Goosebumps books. I've been trying to buy some on the low, or I want to try to go to a few garage sales and buy them. And I wanted to just read those as part of like a Patreon thing.
I like bonus. That, yeah. Classic books, man.
Because they're like easy to read, but I feel like
so freaky.
If you let me practice my speaking with it, and it would just be. I'm like, I'm looking at the covers, and I'm like, oh, I remember all these. I just want to dig back into them. There's one that's called like Night of the Lawn Gnomes, and I'm like, give me something like that, please.
Lawn Gnomes, dude,
So I might be investing in some of that. Man. Oh, and I through kind of. Not through the podcast, but through like some links I found and some stuff. We're getting a free telescope.
Oh,
for like $200 telescope.
Yeah.
We
have to go post up on the Sky Lounge.
Yeah, get at the Skyloft and fucking check it out.
Check out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't had I know my parents had a telescope when I was very young. It was around for a while, but I just never knew how to use it.
Yeah.
I recall looking at a few things through it. I think we looked at the moon. I know my dad must have known how to use it, but I
remember getting one too, and I remember just like
you look at it when you're like a kid, and it's like you just don't line your eyes up right, and you just see like nothing. You're like, well, this ain't right.
You look up, and you're like, oh.
I can't close both my eyes.
It's broken.
So yeah, I'm fucking
fuck yeah.
About to be trying to find some weird shit in space. I love tracking the stars a little bit.
Yeah,
At least get like an eye on the moon every night. Something like that.
I gotta start. Yeah, I need a good close up view. I need to start analyzing the surface of the moon, seeing what's going on with that.
Mm-hmm. I just want to see the phases move, like just move through a whole phase with it, like in depth. One last shout out. That is the In Between Paranormal. I believe if you look up official In Between Paranormal on Instagram or probably anywhere, that's they sent me that free sweatshirt. I put a picture of it up online if y'all want to look at it. It's sick. It's so comfy. I was wearing it. It's the middle of summer. It's July, and I was just wearing it out. Felt real cool.
Yeah.
Just wearing this nice the design stick on it again.
I
Official In Between Paranormal. Thank you for that. And we got some merch.
Shout out.
We kind of got some merch too. So I'm actually gonna put a link to our logo. It's the only merch we have right now is just our one logo, plopped on some shirts and a hat. You know, actually, I did put a separate thing up. Just the no words, just the cloud and sun. I put that up as a separate thing. It didn't get any of those for us yet, but I just put it up. So I'm gonna put the link to. It's like a Teespring or T Public.
Yeah.
So it was the best prices and the best quality I found.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna
we'll
be a thing
now too.
We'll
pop those on. See how
I'm gonna I want to put the link up, and then I want to order a few of some of them and just have them on the Etsy store, or just have them to like we can maybe do some giveaways or something.
Yeah.
Even
figure it out. Yeah.
Work it into
we
the
can bring
con
some.
things.
Yeah, bring some to the con. Give some out.
Who knows exactly what it'll look like? But yeah, it's just some good stuff going on there, all around.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's get to the closeout stuff now. Let me find that. Dude, I've been seeing more stuff on black dogs and hellhounds and stuff too, so that's all good.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can dig into that more later. But that's since it's been one of my search key terms, it just hasn't left my thing, and they're prevalent.
Yeah, dude. Because I don't know. There's like a couple there's like some different like strange kind of like themed like YouTubers and shit I watch where they basically just like they do the work for me where I don't need to like be on TikTok scrolling through it all the time, but it's like. You like collect all these videos and you're like, what is going on? It's kind of like dumb. It's very like surface level. I don't know. It's not dumb. It's pretty good shit. I'm not gonna shout it out right now just because it's my little thing I like. But there was like some of that where it was like sleep paralysis, like cats and dogs and shit.
Mm-hmm. Very like kind of like side corners of this phenomenon.
Yeah, because it's like it's all like videos too. It's like clips of videos that he just like. It's like. Let me know what you think in the comments of this. Like, what do you think this is? This is what they said.
Yeah,
they like look into like the person's page. They like get into like the people who do
one
it.
One of the people that we're gonna have on as a guest soon. I also won't shout them out yet because I don't know their exact handle. But they are one of those like not a content farm. It's just one dude that does it.
Yeah.
But it's just so many videos. It's really cool that they're able to put out so much content. But like it's just such a flux of it that like. It's just so much of it that it's like one of these has got to be real. Like at the end of the day, I'm like, okay.
Well, there's something that's like the thing is like it's like really quick little like rundowns on these videos, but like he'll sit and be like, so like people analyze it. You can like analyze and put like the filters over it, and like it's like it seems pretty real.
Yeah.
And then he like goes into the comments too, and he's like, some people are saying this, some people are saying that. This is kind of what I think. Like,
yeah, being present for all of it.
Yeah, that kind of shit. It's like that's cool. I like that. That's like where I like I don't know I like keeps me like on like my finger on the pulse of like
you always want to have a toe
currently like experiencing.
You always want to have a toe in this thing.
Oh yeah, you got it like a couple fingers.
Like toes. For instance, that video I sent you of that ball lightning.
Yeah, like that kind of shit.
Just a very convincing video of a Kugelblitz black hole moving across a railroad. The way that it's like interacting with the power lines and stuff above it, just ever so slightly, is. Very strange. The ray tracing on the camera doesn't look like a video game style. Like I know how that's rendered in different engines, and it looks not like that, which is just exciting to see.
Yeah, it doesn't look like AI or anything. It looks.
You see
it like
so
makes
little
too much
of
sense
that.
to like. Because AI, it'd be like the railroads would be like way weird.
It just there's ways to fake it, and it just looks almost too genuine today. And then one last thing, I guess, is that I think before next time we record, at least maybe not an interview series, but the next time we have just us talking, I want to make sure we watch this movie called Deer Camp '86. I got
we should try to have maybe like Saturday night or something. We can have like a little movie night. And just pod down immediately afterwards. Just be like, what was that?
That'd be good.
Take some notes, whatever.
I can always come over to your place too and bring that little
notes
too. Or just bring mine, whatever. It's not too bad to bring the MIDI over. I kind of wanted to get a little bag so I can put all this stuff in, maybe a little old school fucking doctor's bag or one of those old school like embalming bags.
So little like briefcase kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, anyway, write us 5 stars wherever you see us. Yeah. Send us your stories, whatever kind of paranormal stuff you've been seeing.
If you just gotta have any T-shirts or something.
Yeah, let us know. We're very kind. That's pumpkinhillradio@gmail.com. And it's gonna be Pumpkin Hill Radio forever. I almost wavered and changed one of the sites to Pumpkin Hill just Pumpkin Hill straight up, but not enough sites will let me change it to that because people are already called that.
Yeah.
So we're PHR and proud.
PHR baby.
PHR proud here. Yep. Let's see. Check out our partner Dubby and support us by supporting them. That's code StarMother at checkout. Dubby.gg. That's 10% off. You can use code SECRET. For 25% off of orders of $25 or more on the pumpkinhillradio.etsy.com. That's our shop there. You can look for pins, prints, and more. Add in some more stuff. Might try to get some shirts up there. I'll put the TeePublic link here. I already got it. TeePublic.com. I'll just put it in the show notes, whatever. And thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.